아빠, 저 왔어요.
Have you ever seen me do stand-up comedy?
Comedy?
Yeah.
Your comedy?
Yeah, my comedy, yeah.
Not really. Because you're not that famous on TV or YouTube.
If I put comedy uploaded it.
Then I will watch it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shouldn't be on. How's it going? You good? Sick. My name's Harry. I had sex in a car for the first time the other day. Woo! Oh, woo! Oh, a couple fans of the vroom vroom. Okay. Yuck. I hated it. Because we had sex in a small car. It was like a hatchback. Heaps hard to have sex in a car at all, but this is a hatchback. We couldn't get the positions right. You know the position. You know the positions. You know the position. Couldn't get the positions right, and we tried everything. We tried all the positions. We tried doing it in portrait and landscape mode. Didn't work. She hated it. I hated it. Our Uber driver really fucking hated it. I tried to get him involved. Okay, I'm a foot up in his face, like, come on, dude, 5 stars. Suck a toe, I'm so close. No, he kicked us out of the Uber. Pretty brutal. Yeah, I know. Hey, do any of you remember? Do you remember Dolly magazine? Remember Dolly magazine? Yeah. Woo! Oh, woo! Always really enthusiastic women, and sometimes one creep at the back. Yes. No, I remember Dolly magazine because it had that section, that sealed section in it. They had to seal a section. It's like, yeah, because they had all the sex tips in there, sexual tips. I remember I found my first Dolly doctor with a sealed section still sealed when I was 16 years old. We're talking pre-internet. Remember 16 pre-internet? Height of horniness. I was like, oh fuck. Oh my God. I couldn't believe it. I opened it up. It was like the holy grail of sex. You didn't miss much. No, you bought tickets. Right? Sorry, it's only been filmed. The light was beaming in my eyes. It was like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction. Remember that? It was like, oh shit. I remember it had this tip directed to the women, and the tip was, it said, if you really want to get off when your man goes down on you, get him to mouth the alphabet. I know. The women are laughing like, it's not dumb, doesn't work. But I was 16 at the time. I hadn't had sex, much less cunnilingus. So when I read that tip, I was like, oh shit. That's how you fucking do it. The first time I have sex, I'm gonna use this. And 13 years later, I did. I was down there like, A, B. She looked down, she was like, what the fuck are you doing? She hated it. Yeah, I thought it would have gotten her with the LMNOP, but no. She kicked me out of the Uber. Sorry, I shouldn't have started with all this. The sex stuff is too red hot, isn't it? Just for Asian man, sex is too much. Asian man, sex, I should do some more relatable gear. It's important in comedy shows to do relatable gear, isn't that right? Because then, you're in the audience, you're like, I do that, It's funny because it's true. Like, let's do some more relatable gear. Is anyone else in the audience, like me, also obsessing about half Asian people? No one. Fuck. Okay. Just me. Oh no. Okay. Let me explain. Sorry. Let me explain. The reason why I'm obsessing about half Asians is because my mate came up to me. He's not Asian. He's quite white. He told me this. He said this sentence, which I since repeated to groups of strangers at comedy, and with like an 80 to 90% success rate, they've all agreed with this sentence. And this sentence is, all half Asians are hot.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. It's the same perv that liked Dolly magazine. Yeah, it's confirmation. Yeah, and that's good. I'm happy for them. All half Asians are hot. I'm so happy for them. But I have to tell you, as a full-blooded Asian, bit hurtful. Bit hurtful that people in general are hotter when there's half as much Asian. Like that's like apparently I'm full-strength cordial and you have to water me down. I know I shouldn't be so negative. The glass is half Asian after all. We're in there. But do you ever look at a half Asian person and like, do you ever wonder how do the features get divided? Fuck. Stay with me. No, because like I'm not a geneticist. Like I don't know how the science works. I don't know how science works. But I am a creative. So I've got like a little story. Like when a half Asian baby's like broiling in the tummy. Gestating in the tummy, like when and all the cells, right? The body becomes like a courtroom, and then you have like a big table in the middle, right? The negotiation table. You got the non-Asian genes on one side, and then the Asian genes on the other, okay? And they have to meet at the middle table to negotiate the features of this half Asian baby, right? And the non-Asian genes, typically heaps arrogant. They walk up, they're like. This half Asian baby, he's going to be 6 foot tall. You're fucking welcome. And he's going to have round eyes. Whoa, fucking yeah. And then the Asian genes are like, sumimasen. That's all well and good, but he's going to have to wear glasses from the age of 4. And if he even sniffs a milkshake, he's going to shit his pants. Hoping to see some soy drinkers in the audience tonight. Welcome. This show's called I Grew Here. Thank you so much for coming. A couple gripes I have, like growing up in Australia. Like I don't want to go on about it. I hate being looked at as a victim because I'm not. But don't pity me. Please don't pity me. If you hear some of my jokes and go, oh, don't fucking do that, because that pity implies that you think you're better than me and you're not. So like just. Don't pity, just laugh instead, okay? Like, the one thing that was tough growing up was dating, like, in white Australia as an Asian man. It's pretty fucking rough. Like, let me tell you this, not to toot my own horn, but when I was in uni on the apps, right, I would get the matches. Beep, beep. Yeah. I would get the matches, and I'd even get a response straight away from the women. That never fucking happens. Straight away? No way. That what? Except... the response was always, sorry, that was a mistake. They fucking blocked me straight away. Brutal, so brutal dating in white Australia as an Asian man. Then my mate in uni came up to me, told me about this peer-reviewed study they did. This peer-reviewed study on dating apps. You should look it up. It's sick, right? Comes up, it's like, man, they did this peer-reviewed study on dating apps that measured the frequency of right swipes. That's the fuck swipes, the good ones. Frequency of right swipes across all demographics. Do you know which demographic got the lowest amount of right swipes? Do you know which one? It was Asian men. Did you know that? And I was like, yeah. Yeah, I fucking know. That's my life, This dude's wasting his time looking up peer-reviewed journals. He should have been reviewing his peers. I'm right here. Just ask me how my dating life's going. That was brutal, but then he told me about this. He told me his story. Do you guys remember Jet Li? You know Jet Li, martial arts superstar. Fucking sick. One van. Jet Li, sick martial arts superstar. He was in this movie 21, 22 years ago called Romeo Must Die. Do you remember that? Yeah. Fucking oath, so good. You remember? Yes, soy drinker. That's it. That's all we had. It was a martial arts adaptation of Romeo and Juliet. He played the Romeo. He played his Juliet. He played across from. Do you guys remember Aaliyah? Yeah. Right, yeah, Aaliyah, hip hop, African hip hop queen, gone too soon. Remember her? People laugh at that. It's fucked up. She's dead. She's dead. They shot this original ending of that film, okay? They shot this original ending, and the original ending didn't go to public release. The original ending was like this. Jet Li, at the end of like all this fighting, he's all battle-torn, he wins, right? He gets to meet his Juliet. He makes out sexily with her. He's like, he does it all, and then they walk off into the sunset, like arms all over each other, implying sexual activity, like they were gonna fuck, right? They shot this original ending, showed this original ending to a test screen audience, and the test screen audience gave resoundingly negative feedback. Yeah. Oh, he's right. You get little cards, okay, and on those cards they wrote, "It made us feel uncomfortable to see an Asian man sexualized." Yeah, they wrote that shit. The desexualization of Asian men is a real thing. It's a real thing. Like, they're more than happy to see Jet Li kick ass. But the moment they picture him eating ass, it's like, oh, no. Oh, no, no. Oh, no. Like, the desexualization of Asian men, that's a real thing. Like, our stereotype is that we're really timid and, like, asexual. Like, oh, hello, sorry, oh, me no fucky, oh. Me have little pee-pee, no. That's how they think we are. The desexualization of Asian men, it's a fuck thing. It affects me personally. I overcompensate. I'm very insecure. I have to start any social interaction talking about the first time I had sex in a car. It's fucked up. I have to mention it. Like, I fucked, dude, in a hatchback. Like, but these people that gave that feedback, these people, they don't think Asian men fuck. They don't think Asian men fuck. Do you know the population of Asia? Asian men fuck! And they fuck heaps, dude! They fuck so much, and they have to fuck heaps, all right? They have to fuck heaps and they have to make a lot of Asian babies, okay? You know why? Because then who else will make our Nike shoes? Oh, I found the line. Oh, you're like, oh. Hands up if you own an iPhone, you fucking hypocrites. You're wearing Uniqlo and judging me. Fuck you. That's made by Asian babies, dude. Let's be real, okay? Fuck you. Don't be like that. But, okay, sorry. I also have to check my privilege as well. Like, I love checking my privilege. In that study, the peer-reviewed study, like, Asian men were at the bottom of the fuck totem, right? They were. But do you know who was only a fraction of a % higher than Asian men? Do you know who it was? It was black women. Yeah, and you all feel uncomfortable. Because you notice the racial inequality, right? Asian men, black women at the bottom. You notice racial inequality. But me, what I notice is an opportunity. For the sexiest collaboration of all time. I'm talking about beautiful African queens fucking virgin Asian dudes. Fucking making beautiful half Asian babies. Who will frankly make the coolest Nike shoes you've ever fucking seen. You know what I mean? Colorways you can't even dream of, man. I want my shoes made by Jamal Lee, okay? That's some good shit, man. I've been feeling a bit crook lately as well. I'm feeling a bit crook. Like, I have a condition, okay? None of your fucking business, but I have a condition. Went to the doctor, told my doctor my condition. He asked me for a family history. And I was like, oh, yeah, easy. Dad's whole family's from Seoul, South Korea. And the doctor was like, okay. All right, Mum? And I was like, Mum's whole family's from what we technically now know as North Korea. Yeah, the doctor was like, fuck. Yeah, he looked at me and he goes, are you telling me that you have family living in North Korea? And I was like, living. Because are North Koreans, aren't they the Schrodinger's cats of people, you know? Yeah. Are they alive? Are they dead? We won't know until we open it up, you know? Or leave it closed, then they can be both at once. Whoa! How do they do that? Whoa! Okay, some of you pull back on that. Some of you are like, oh, fuck, oh. I don't think you can joke. I don't think you can joke about that's not nice. They're suffering. Don't be like that. Don't get on your fucking high horse with your morals. All right. This is stand-up comedy. Okay. None of this is real. Okay? I'm Chinese. I'm not Chinese. I am Korean. But you laugh pretty fucking hard at that. You can't have both. You can't be like, oh, don't joke about the North Koreans, but you can't tell Asians apart. Fuck you. Anyway, I have trouble socialising. I have a lot of trouble socialising. It's right. Like I tell you this, I was in love with a woman and I didn't know how to tell her. Like, you two look so in love. Oh. Are you? Are you so in love? How did you tell her? You're holding hands during my show? Yeah, stop it. he instantly went like that. No, it's beautiful. I'm jealous. That's the only reason why I attack people, by the way. Well, there's two reasons. There's actually two reasons why I attack people. It's because you have something that I want and I fucking hate you. Or there's something about you that reminds me of me and I fucking hate myself. So it's reason one. So lovely. How did you tell this person that you love them?
In Korean?
You did it in Korean? Oh, fuck you, man. Fucking like a migrant Korean. I can't even fucking speak it that well. Motherfucker's professing. And you're the jet leap. Beautiful. You did it different way. You just fucking said it, right? That's how easy it is. I didn't know how to do it. I do what I always do when I don't know how to socialise. Is I use Google to help me out. Use Google. I typed into Google, how do you tell someone? And before I could even finish, you know how Google has that cool autocomplete feature? That gives you the most popular searches based on what you started typing in. So when I typed in, how do you tell someone? Number one hit was, how do you tell someone that you love them? Don't, that's fucked up that it's number one. Like, just fucking say it, dude. Like, that's number one. That's the number one most popular search. How do you tell someone that you love them? Number three, third most popular search, is how do you tell someone that you have cancer? I know. That's fucked. Like, imagine you get diagnosed. How do you tell loved ones and shit? Even as a comedian, I'm not going to make fun of that. I'm not. But as a creative, like... I see the poetic side of it. You know what I mean? Number one's love. Yeah, fuck yeah, love. Number one. Number three's cancer. Yeah, fuck you, cancer. Bronze medal. Like, fuck you. Number one was love. Number three was cancer. Second most popular search is, how do you tell someone that they smell? That's real. That's some real shit. And apparently it's harder to tell someone that they smell than if you have cancer. Like, turns out anxiety is way more relatable to people in It's fucking hard to tell people that they smell. It's hard. It's hard. Have you tried it? I tried it. I have a mate. His name's Greg. He stinks. He smells like off meat and good cheese. It's fucked up. It's just, I tried telling him until I was like, Greg, this is really hard for me to say, but you really need to... I have cancer. And I just got out of there. Just ended that fucking friendship, dude. Just fucking ended it.
Dad, what do you think of the name Harry?
Well, it's okay. Harry Potter.
Did you come up with the name Harry?
Oh, your mom actually.
Yeah.
But I agree.
Why did you agree with Harry?
It's quite all right.
You don't really care, hey?
Well.
Yeah. What about my Korean name?
For some of you who don't know me, you would have seen like Harry, Jun, I grew here. I introduced myself as Harry. Harry's not my real name though. Yeah. Like, obviously. Harry, my real name is Yoo Hyung. It's Korean. Can anyone say, we all together, can you all say Yoo Hyung on three? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yoo Hyung. So that's why we fucking changed it. You really, you butchered that. You added consonants. That's fucking... Yeah, it's Korean, and I grew up in Wollongong. They still somehow try. They find me. It's so infuriating. No, it's fun. We grew up in Wollongong. Not a lot of Korean people living there. When I went to school, there were 2 Korean kids in my entire school. Obviously, I was one of them. The other one was my brother. So. Like, the diversity is far. And so not much awareness of, like, culture, Korean culture, all that shit. And my mum enrolled me into preschool. And when she enrolled me, she tells me she wrote down, yeah, enroll my child. His name's Yoo Hyung. And the fucking receptionist at the preschool looked at that name and she was like, we're not going to say that. I'm not going to fucking say that. YOO-HYUNG, my real name. She's like, fuck that, dude. Fucking Wollongong, man. Do you know what she did? She slashed the second half of that name. She goes, nah, we'll call him you. YOO. We have that in English too. Fucking easy to say, you. So my name changed from Yoo Hyung to you. My name, you, lasted about 3 days. You know why? It's because when they called me over, the preschool teacher was like, you, come here. 5 kids would be like, yeah? Well, I think so it was very confusing. Very confusing to have the name you. So Mum had to change it a bit more. And so the preschool teachers in Wollongong were like, fuck, yeah, we know what to change to. They changed it from you to Yui. How Australian is that? Fucking Yui! Fucking do it, Yui! Yui! Fucking Yui! So Australian and really appropriate as well. Because I feel like I did a U-turn on my own culture. Like I just... Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh, Korea, nah, fuck that, motherfucker. Let's colonise this shit. Like, straight away. And then changed it again one more time. No context, by the way. My parents didn't tell me anything. Like, my mum, nothing, right? I just walk into the living room. I remember I was in year 5, walked in the living room. Mum thrusts a People magazine in my face. One of those tabloids, right? And 2 very white princes were gracing the pages of those magazines back then. I don't know if you know who they are. Right, she thrust in my face and all she said was, pick one. Yeah, pick one. And I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about, did I? I was like 9. So I straight away I was like, the Ranger. And so straight away changed my name to Harry. Changed my name to Harry. And back then I was like, that's sick. Harry. Like fucking 2 syllables. Harry. I was loving it. Fucking Harry. Like when you get a new name, you kind of feel it. I was vibing, feeling it in my bones. Harry John. Harry John. Like I fucking love that shit. But I have to tell you, I went to school in the late 90s, early 2000s. I wore glasses, had black hair, and my name was Harry. I'll say it again. I had black hair, wore glasses, and my name was Harry. But I was still psyched. I was like, fucking Harry John. I was like, this is sick. This is so good. Nothing short of a wizarding phenomenon could ruin this name for me. It'll never happen. It'll never become like an incredible pop culture hit. Like, it fucked me up, guys. Do you know how many times I'd enter a classroom and I'd hear, you're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard, Harry. All in the playground. You're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard, Harry. And one time, it's Cho Chang, which like, I preferred. I actually fucking preferred. It was relentless. You're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard. Where's your scar, Harry? Where's your scar? The glasses head, no scar. Where's the scar, Harry? Where's your scar? Turns out my scar wasn't here. It was in here. I don't want your pity. It's a funny joke. Funny motherfucking joke. Growing up, I didn't get presents at Christmas time. Again, don't pity. I didn't get presents at Christmas time for 2 reasons. Mum was ultra thrifty, and also my family was Buddhist. But mostly the thriftiness. Like, it's so great. Like 25th of December every year, my mates would get like PlayStations, and I would get jealous. Like, oh yeah, fuck all. It's not, and like Buddhism is the best religion for thrifty people. It is. Every year, Mum will be like, don't lose your attachment to physical objects. Physical, material possessions, they only give a short-lasting and shallow form of happiness. If you want to reach enlightenment, just forget about the physical world. I reckon I was the most depressed, enlightened kid in my year. Like I'd reached nirvana, but I needed antidepressants. Like it was constantly vacillating between these 2 states. Fucking crazy. I have to tell you that, like a bit more about me growing up. I had a pretty typical Asian upbringing. Really happy to see a bunch of Asians in the audience. You can probably relate to this. Very typical Asian upbringing. I had a really strict mum with high like academic expectations. Really classic, right? But I also had an absent father. Yeah, which means growing up, I had a tiger mum and a Tasmanian tiger dad. Everyone else swears they saw him. They come up to me showing me a blurry photo of an Asian man at Star Casino, like... We know where his habitat is. He spends 28 hours a day there. I grab that and be like, miss you, Dad. No, look, again, I lie. My dad wasn't like, he was around. He wasn't physically absent. Dad was just really emotionally absent. To give you context, like, he was born in the 1950s in Korea, which is like right off the back of a fucking war. Everyone was fucking poor as shit, right? Makes sense why we're all thrifty and stuff. But like, he just that emotion, that male toxicity, like, male toxicity makes you not able to express your emotions, right? But this was Asian male toxicity. Like, that's fucking ultra mode. Like, it's fucking crazy. Like, the only way I can explain it is Dad came to Australia in 86 and even now, it was only able to have like a semi-fluent grasp of the English language. But turns out he also only has a semi-fluent grasp of all the love languages. Instead of words of affirmation, my dad has words. Do you know what I mean? Like, the only love language that Dad was fluent in was physical touch. I love you! I love you! No, he didn't hit me. None of this is real, guys. He was very emotionally distant. The way I know it is my mum told me, do you remember the first time you told Dad that you loved him? And I was like, yeah. And you should never be able to remember because you should never be old enough to remember that. Like, yeah, you shouldn't. But I was 17 at the time. I remember I did it through a text. It was Father's Day. I was like, no, Dad, you work so hard to provide for the family, getting all those features. That's a lie. You work so hard to provide for family, and, I acknowledge how hard you work, and even though you've never said it to me, I love you. And this is how emotionally distant my dad is. He wrote back, single word answer. He went, sure. That's what he wrote to my profession of love to my father. He wasn't even like, me too. He said, sure, in a text. That reads as sarcastic. Like, when you get sure in a text, you're like, oh, I love you. Yeah, sure. That's what he fucking said to me. But Dad was a psycho. I love it. No, I love him. I love him so much. It's really important to say I wouldn't be here and the person I am if it wasn't for Dad, but was a psycho. I remember growing up, I don't know if any of you had this, but I grew up being told conspiracy theories. Like, this is just a thing, but like when you're a kid, I was a little tiny kid, you don't know that they're conspiracy theories. He told me this one's sick. He told me this. He said, did you know that from 1910 to 1945, Japan occupied Korea? That's not the conspiracy, by the way. That fucking I'm not like a Japanese revisionist, like, banzai! No. That happened. He goes to me, a tiny kid, he goes, during that occupation, Japan changed the spelling of Korea. It used to be Korea. It used to be C-O, and they changed it to Korea. He tells me. I'm like 4. And even then I was like, but why? Why, Dad? He tells me this, he goes, son, as you know, during the Olympics, the countries march in alphabetical order. And Korea is right at the front, but Japan can't have that. They changed it, so K, as you know, is after J. And I just learned my alphabet, and I was like, that checks out. B, C, D. That checks out. But then, as an adult, that makes no fucking sense. I'm thinking, you're telling me that Japan, during the occupation of Korea, Japan changed the spelling of Korea from Korea to Korea, just so every 4 years, during the Olympics, Japan can be like, suck shit, dickheads. You have to wait like 5 more minutes, you fucking, your dogs. Like, fucking crazy. But the thing about my dad is he's a genius. He's actually incredibly smart. Doesn't know how to swim though. Fucking idiot. No, it's important to know how to swim. Australia, like, I know that because he made me learn how to swim. Made me learn how to swim. I know how to swim. Australia, there's water everywhere. And I would tell him growing up, like, you have to learn how to swim. It's really important. He was like, well, fuck, no, I don't give a shit. And then one day we were on the Manly ferry. Both of us, just me and him. We were riding it. Okay, and this was my chance to attack. I was like, yes, I'll fucking get him. I was like, Dad, you need to learn how to swim. And he looked at me and was like, no, I do not. How smart he is. I was like, what do you do. What? Pulled this little trump card out. I was like, what if this ferry sinks? Again, this is how smart he is. He looks at me and he goes, all right, so this ferry's sinking? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, and you know how to swim? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, and do you love me? And I'm thinking, I sent that fucking text, didn't I? Is, do you love? And I'm like, yeah, I love you, Dad. And he goes, and you would do anything in your power to save me from drowning? And I was like, yeah. And he says this, he goes, sounds like a you problem. And fucking walked off, man. That's how psycho my dad is. I love him so much. Again, sense of humour. I wouldn't have that without my dad. So awesome. But like, Mum's fucked too. Like, I can't not, rinse Mum. I have to. It's a comedy show. It's equal balance. Mum's so sick. It's awesome. She went through a lot. She came to Australia in '88, didn't know a lick of English, learnt it so well that she's built a career for like 31 years as a Korean English interpreter for the government. And like, I help her with English as well. Like growing up, if you're an Asian kid, like you were the receptionist for your family, right? Yeah, you know that this Asian kid's like, yeah. You like take a call, you have to translate it for your mum, all this back and forth, like interpreting for your mum. I feel like I inspired her entire career, but like, I help her with the English, would help her with everything, except there's one thing that I don't help her with. It's an idiom, and I can't help it because it's so funny. Mum loves to gossip. I fucking love gossip as well. She loves to gossip. She tells me all the gossip from work. But before she would tell me gossip, she goes up to me and goes, Yui. All right, I'm going to tell you something. Don't tell anyone, okay? This is gossip. Don't tell anyone, okay? Take this to the cradle. Says, take this to the cradle. It's take it to the grave. Like, this secret you hold on to until you die. But she goes, take this to the cradle. And I can't correct her. I can't correct her because it's just so funny to me. She tells me this gossip and like, I go up to a crib with a baby in it. She's like, Vanessa's cheating on her husband. It still works the same. Who the fuck is this baby gonna tell? Doesn't have the proficiency in language. It's fucking sick. Love it. Love my mum. Growing up, a couple challenges. Like mum has this, just like me, a curious like double up of two conflicting sort of things. She's got, she's a hypochondriac, but she's also hyper vigilant. Like, so she like anytime we get sick, she'll be like, fucking throw me in the car, like and she's Korean. Okay, that's not a condition. That's context. Okay, to explain, Koreans, we have this thing called electric fan death. Yeah, it's all in the name, really. No, Koreans believe that if you leave an electric fan on while you sleep, you'll fucking die. This is real. Look it up on Wikipedia. This is a theory, okay? You leave the fan on in your room, your bedroom, okay? That rotation will suck all the oxygen out of the room. They believe this. It'll suck all the oxygen out, and then it'll hypercool you down so you die of asphyxiation and hypothermia. Like, that's what they fucking believe, dude. And being a hypochondriac, hypervigilant person, like, she tells me this story when I was a little kid, right? Little baby kid. She caught me in the corner of the room, and my family, everyone in my family has asthma. It's like it's a genetic thing. It's fucked up. We can't breathe. We don't know how to breathe. But she caught me in the corner as a little baby. I was doing this, like that in the corner. And she heard that, struggled breathing. She's like, oh, fuck, he might have asthma. Fucking throws me in the car, vroom. We go to the doctor, get it checked out. She's like, yes, asthma, what the fuck? It's genetic. Oh my God. Had to do all the tests, blood test, O2 level, all that shit. Week later, the doctor came up to my mum and said, hey, great news and bad news, okay? Great news, he doesn't have asthma. And mum was like, thank fuck. That's so good. I thought he would have had it. Whoa, that's crazy. What's the bad news? He goes, we think he definitely has depression. Yeah, she was like, what the fuck do you mean he has depression? He was like, what the fuck do you mean you caught him in the corner, looking at the wall going, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Yeah. Do you know how relieved my mum was? Do you know how relieved my mum was to hear that it was mental health issues? You know why she's relieved? Because Asian migrants don't think mental health issues exist. That's how relieved she was. Like, it's fine. They don't think it's a real thing. They don't think it's a real thing at all. I remember when I went to uni, I was seeing like a psychiatrist and stuff, and about to go on antidepressants and stuff, and told mum, was like, I think I have to go on these antidepressants because, get depressed. I might get so depressed I might harm myself or whatever. Mum was like, mental health, depression can kill, what? Can hurt you? How do you die from wah wah? Like, how do you, shit, I spent 30 years learning this language from scratch and you're gonna, my life is hard, I can't afford a house, really? Like, yeah, she was like, she didn't believe my depression could kill me, but if I left an electric fan on at night, when I was sleeping, she'd fucking burst in the room, like, you suicidal? You trying to fucking kill yourself? Turn that shit off! Like, it's crazy stuff. And the crazy, I looked it up on the Wikipedia. It's funny, like, I was like, what? Where did this come from? Apparently, this was a conspiracy spread by the Korean government because in the 1970s, there was an energy crisis. Electricity was really expensive. So they spread this rumour that if you left a fan on at night, like 8 hours, you'll fucking die. And I'm thinking, fuck, did my mum think of this? Seriously? She's so thrifty, like she could have. That timeline checks out. That's fucking crazy, dude.
Dad, you know how Koreans think that electric fans will kill you if you keep it on?
And they have that kind of, experience.
You've never died because you've left a fan on?
I still am alive, and before getting to go to the bed, I never turn the fans on.
Why? Why did you not turn it on? Because you believed it?
Once you fall in sleep, you're not gonna feel the any hot and cold.
Yeah, you can feel hot when you're asleep.
Before you sleep, you will feel.
Yes, or what? So you're assuming when you start to feel like you're about to fall asleep, you turn it off.
No, I can.
Turn it off and then
I can turn the timer on.
You've got the timer.
Timer on and sleep.
So you believe it then? You believe that the electric fan will kill you if you keep
Could. It could.
Why did you choose to raise me in Australia and not Korea?
If you stay in Korea, you have to join the army. I feels like it's just waste of your time. That's what I feel.
And you didn't want me to waste time?
No.
But now I'm a stand-up comedian. So...
Do you want to go to army? You want to join the army?
No, I want to stay doing stand-up comedy.
See?
Yeah.
So...
All right, you got me.
Yeah.
I went to Korea recently with my partner Jill. It was sick. It was her first time. We went in December, real fucking cold, minus 17 degrees. Are you Korean? Yeah. So relatable. That's how I'm telling you, relatable jokes. You just have to say a true thing, and you're like, oh yeah, it is cold in December in Korea. No, thanks for coming. Yeah, super fucking cold. It's minus 17 degrees. Fucking so cold. So cold. And because it was Jill's first time, I wanted to make it special. We rented a hanok. Can you all say hanok? Hanok. Very good. Can't say you, Hyung, but you can say fuck you. But hanok is like a traditional Korean house where you sleep on the floor. So cool. And this hanok also had this thing called ondol. Can you all say ondol? Ondol. 2 for 3. Fuck you. But ondol is amazing because what it is, it's like an intricate array of pipes. Okay, intricate array of pipes underneath the floor. And these pipes fill up with hot water and heat the room from the floor up. Fucking incredible. So good. I'm like, fuck, Koreans are so smart. This is so good. It's amazing. The only shit thing is if the host puts it on the highest setting and you can't find the control switch to turn it off. we were frying alive in there. We were sleeping on the fucking floor too. We were right on the floor. Fucking tsa, tsa. I was like, am I the Korean barbecue? Like, I couldn't even turn the fan on to cool me down. The fucking host comes in, you suicidal? Fucking took it out. Crazy shit, man. Ondol is amazing though. It's so good, so smart. Korean's so smart. Not to offend any white people in the audience tonight, but like white people, you couldn't come up with the Ondol. You could, because you didn't. Like, you all had the fireplace. Like, that was your heating solution. Like, you imagine like a big room, like a massive room. Like, how do we heat it? Let's put all the heat in the corner, just in one side. And do you know how I know white people couldn't come up with something as genius as Ondo? It's because white people had to use their imagination to invent the game, The Floor is Lava. Like, you have to use your imagination, like, fuck, but meanwhile, kids in Korea are like, it's not a fucking game, bro. That's my life. It's my life in my living room. It's fucking hot. People over there as well, like heaps of smokers as well, fucking smoking so much. Like, even Australia, people smoking so... Are there any smokers in the audience tonight? Yes, there are. It's a shame thing. Like, nah, fucking smoke away. It's fine. I don't know if you know this. They fucking kill you. Yeah, it's crazy. People still smoke, even though we know objectively that they fucking kill you. Do you know why people still smoke? Because it's fucking cool. It's cool as fuck. Cool as fuck, dude. They tried to ban smoking in Australia. Do you know they tried to ban it a couple of decades ago? They tried to introduce this law to ban smoking on the account of it fucking killing you. So for health reasons, and it didn't pass. Do you know why? It's because they attacked it at the health angle. If you really want to stop smoking around the world, you have to introduce a law that attacks it at the coolness level. Like, imagine they introduced a law that made the minimum length of every cigarette like 40 centimetres long. It's fucking long. Like, smoking would end in a day. Because you can't imagine like a tradie on a job site be like, oh, right, all right, fellas, tools down, time for a smoke. Like, oh, I'm a wizard. Wingardium emphysema. You can't imagine a tradie going to a convenience store being like, yeah, patch of tobacco, thanks, patch of tobacco, yeah, rolling papers, A3, thank you so much. He's rolling it on the street like, oh, long day. No, end in a fucking day. I have some other thoughts too. I have this issue where I eat too quickly, and Koreans have a predisposition to bowel cancer. So, yeah, if there are any Koreans in tonight that just learnt that, surprise. You have a predisposition to bowel cancer. Told my doctor, like, I'm eating too much. So you gotta stop fucking eating so quick. All right, you'll get ulcers. Stop eating so quick. And I'm like, I'm hungry. It's hard to not, stop eating. But then he tells me this. He's like, did you know that dogs also have this issue? My doctor said this to my face. He's like, do you know that dogs also have this issue? And I was like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, do you know how they fix it in dogs? He goes, they have this thing called a puzzle bowl. My doctor. So if you don't know what a puzzle bowl is like it's a regular bowl. Instead of a big divot where you put the food, it's like lots of little small divots. You put the kibble in, and it's covered by a little sliding latch. Okay, the dog has to use their nose to slide it open. Takes ages, right? Slide it open and eat the food. Nom nom nom. My doctor told me about these puzzle balls. That's fucked up. It's like the only way that would work is if you were white and didn't know how to use chopsticks, right? That's the only human equivalent of the puzzle bowl. It's not the same thing. But then I had a light bulb moment. I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, I know how to fix eating too quickly in humans. I want to be the world's first opener of an escape room restaurant. Like, that would be sick, right? Like, imagine you go in the escape room, you're hungry as fuck, you're so irritated, you're like, yeah. You get locked in a room, you're like, oh, fuck this shit. Then you solve the first puzzle, oh, shit, entree. Oh, fuck, yum, yum, yum. That's sick, dude. Can you imagine? But, of course, because it's a restaurant, we'll have to take allergy information when they register, anaphylaxis and stuff. But also because it's an escape room, we'll have various difficulty levels. And I'm going to have a special room if they have an allergy, but also pick the hardest difficulty. Yeah, I'm steaking nuts in the first meal. Like, I'm going to be sick. They'll be like angry, eat the entree. Look, oh, this is actually sick. Whoa, what a novel idea. I can't believe they have this. Oh, God. Don't worry, the last puzzle will have an EpiPen, okay? All the other rooms will take about an hour to solve. That one, we'll see. I also like growing up, like, all this representation stuff, really important to me. Diversity, I love representation. So good. It's actually the reason why I'm allowed to perform in this venue. I was too white. No, represent. But I'm really happy for the kids growing up because they get to see, like, you know, especially Asian dudes with the whole desexualization of Asian men. They could see hot Asian dudes on screen and shit. They see BTS, K-pop, like all fire, like all fucking shit, like all this shit's fucking sick. I love that shit. They get Shang-Chi, hot Asian dude, fuck, sick. Me growing up as a kid, all I had was Jeff the Purple Wiggle. He was my hot Asian dude. Trying to be like, yeah, Jeff's hot, guys. Sleeps heaps, but he's fucking hot. Like, have you seen the new Purple Wiggle that the kids have got these days? The new Purple Wiggle was like some ex-dance crew guy. He's got like a six-pack and cum gutters. It's fucked up. He's so fucking hot, dude. I'm so happy for them. But like, again, representation, all that shit matters. My mate came up to me, asked me if it's hard to be an Asian Australian comedian. And the answer's a bit like, it's tough. Because I remember this story. I was on Instagram doom scrolling and I got a notification that I'd been tagged in a comedy show. And I fucking love that. Because then that's more, you know, I get follows and stuff. Like _HarryJun_ is my username. I was like, fucking sick. Would love to get heaps more followers. Opened it up and it was in this comedy account. The picture was of another comedian called Kevin Jin. Yeah, Kevin Jin with my tag. Yeah, so I messaged the booker. I was like, hey, man, Kevin's booked for your show. I'm Harry Jun. I'm the other one. And this is what he wrote back. He was like, oh, sorry. He for context, he's a white person. He said this. He goes, oh, sorry, man. Sorry, Kevin Jin, Harry Jun. Jun. Kevin Jin, Harry Jun. It threw me. Jin and Jun are so close. And it is. One letter difference, right? 66%. Technically, he passed. Like, he got the J and the N right. I was like, oh, fuck. But then I thought, wait, what about Harry and Kevin, motherfucker? The first name, that's the first bit you type in when you tag someone. You got that fucking wrong? No, that's fucking racist, dude. Here's the second story. I remember I was 2 years into comedy, a baby comedian. Only 2 years in, I had a pretty good set. It was dog shit, but it was good to me. I walked out, I was having a durry because I was super cool. And this punter from the show comes out and goes, mate, that was fucking sick. It was so good. And I was like, thank you, beep, beep, thank you. And then he's like, yeah, I've been a fan of you for like 7 years. Yeah, and I was like, oh no. Yeah, and then he goes, and when I found out that you got that job hosting Triple J... Yeah, and I addressed it. I love confronting racism. It's fucking awesome. I told him, I was like, hey, man, that's Michael Hing. I'm Harry Jun. I'm the other one, okay? Kind of fucking racist. And confronting racism is really interesting to me because people's response when you confront their racism is very similar to the 5 stages of grief. Like, the first stage was like, it was straight up denial. It was like, Michael, that's very funny. Michael Hing, funny guy. And then from denial to anger, he was like, fucking, are you calling me racist? You calling me racist? That actually makes you racist. You calling me racist? And then from anger to bargaining, he was like, you both wear glasses. You both wear glasses. And then from bargaining, he went to depression. He was like, oh, fuck. That was racist. Fuck. So I feel so shit, man. And then from depression to acceptance, he was like, actually, Michael Hing is a lot funnier than you. Yeah, I did not get a follow. So the answer to the question, is it hard to be an Asian Australian comedian? It is hard to be a single Asian Australian comedian. Apparently, I can be 3 at any time. Harry Jun, Kevin Jin, Michael Hing. The other thing about that is, like, again, representation. I got booked for this ad for this fucking... It was like I got paid way more than I deserved. It was fucking sick, so stoked. And the director came up to me, he said this, he goes, do you know how I booked you? And I went, oh no. Oh no. Yeah, and he goes, yeah, what I did was I went to Google Images, typed in Asian Australian comedian, then I kept scrolling till I could afford you. Representation in action. That's a real story, and I love telling that story because a bit narcissistic on my part. I went home and Googled that straight away. You should do it too. It's sick. If you search, even to this day, 2023, if you search Asian Australian comedian in Google Images, you only need to do about 1 to 3.5 scrolls till you see Chris Lilly. He's one of our best, apparently. Yeah, that Ricky character in We Could Be Heroes. Oh, hello, everybody. And he couldn't afford him. No. The yellow face makeup's too expensive. Like, they couldn't get him. It's fucked up, dude.
What should I say to racist people? If someone's being racist to me, what should I say?
Just you politely ask them, don't do that.
I just go,
Stop it. Just, well,
someone does this at me, a white person goes like this, I'll go, stop! Like that?
yeah, don't fight with them. But
Oh, don't fight. Make just one punch? Like a little punch.
No.
Can I punch him with my words? Can I say, you're a racist piece of shit?
What comes next then?
Then a little punch.
Representation is real important, super important to me, obviously. It's really powerful, especially in times of crisis. Do you guys remember like a couple of years ago when COVID was at its peak? Do you remember that shit? It was so popular, remember? It was like the Triple J Hottest 100. Like, it was like, it nearly beat Flume. Like, it was like, we were all talking about it back then. There was a lot of anti-Asian hate in America. Do you remember that? A lot of Asians were getting bashed in America. Fucking psycho. And only one company rose up to fight anti-Asian hate. Do you know who it was? Sesame Street. It was Sesame Street. They did it through representation. Do you know what they did? They introduced, for the first time ever, onto the cast of Sesame Street, a Korean American puppet. Yeah, and as a Korean, I'm like, oh, fuck, yeah. Korean American puppet's sick. I'm thinking about the kids. I'm thinking about BTS on my fucking oath. Korean American puppet, fuck, yeah. Korean American puppet. But then I was like, wait. Do the puppets on Sesame Street have race? Think about it. What race is Elmo? Like, think about it. You got a big yellow bird, a snuffleupagus, a green cunt that lives in a bin, and now Ji-hyun, the engineering student, just sitting in the corner studying. Like, that's fucked up, dude. That's misrepresentation. Little white kids are gonna watch Sesame Street and be like, yeah, Asians are monsters and freaks. Hey, they are monsters and freaks. I've seen her counting with a Dracula. They're fucking freaks. Yeah, Sesame Street's fucked up. It's fucking up for a while. Do you guys remember Bert and Ernie? Bert and Ernie, fucking sick. I love Bert and Ernie. 2 male puppets living together, loving together, gay as fuck. They're gay. I love that shit. Bert and Ernie living together, sucking puppet dick. It's fucking awesome. Love it that they're gay. That's great representation. I was cheering ally shit. I was cheering like, fuck yeah, Bert and Ernie are gay. All on my socials, Bert and Ernie are gay. Slay, slay, slay. I was like, yeah, so gay. But like me and all my ally friends and everyone, we cheered too loud. We cheered too loud because then Sesame Street found out. Yeah, and they made an official statement on their Twitter. And you should look it up. It says this, it said, Bert and Ernie are just best friends. Yeah, they wrote that shit. And they said, while they do share a lot of human attributes, they are, at the end of the day, puppets. Like we didn't know. What? He said, and since they're puppets, okay, you have to know, puppets don't have sexuality. That's what they said. Sesame Street. Sesame Street are like, puppets can't be gay. Puppets can't be gay, bro. Puppets can't be gay. But they can be Korean as fuck, man. They can be so Korean. Oh, no. Yeah! Asians are freaks, man. Asians are freaks. Sesame Street has been fucking up for ages. Do you know the Cookie Monster doesn't even eat cookies anymore? Do you know that shit? Yeah, he's eating like celery and shit. He's gone all healthy. Has a little crumb after some celery. That's fucked up. His name is Cookie Monster. Let the motherfucker eat some cookies. And let Bert and Ernie eat ass. Okay? It's only fair. Anyway, don't sleep here, you'll fucking die.
When I was a kid, did you ever think that I would be doing stand-up comedy in the future? Or anything, any kind of entertainment?
No, never thought of you become a comedian or you do to make people funny.
What are you doing then?
Some kind of gum. Your question finished?
No, sorry, I'm not finished. Sorry, one last question.
Too long.
Yeah, one
The
last
batteries are running out.
I'm sorry. One last question. So, what did you want me to be when I grew up? What job? What?
Well, whatever you want to do, well, you can, to make world better.
Make the world better.
Yeah.
Do you know I can make the world better with comedy?
Make people laughing is, it's a good thing too.
Sick.
달랐던 내 도시락 통에 난 내서 냄새 숨겨 먹고 말이 안 나와서 조였던 목에 이제 전부 다 불러 던져 에이 누가 나를 막어 나는 그냥 뱉어 날 욕하던 놈들이 이제 와서 내 거 뺏겨 미안하지만 난 내 거는 절대 안 뺏겨 너가 날 이기고 싶다면 꼭 do it better